Hey guys, I'm going to do a little tutorial on how to rhinestone. So to get started, I have all my supplies. I have a paper plate, which is what I use to hold the rhinestones, and my syringe. I have my rhinestones. They are AB crystals in size 20. I have my E6000 glue. This is what a full pack looks like. Just got everything off Amazon. I have my syringes. Again, these are just from Amazon. I'll link everything in the comments. And I have a little bit of wax. These are actually earplugs that I got from Walgreens. They're like $2. And then I have a toothpick. They do sell these official wax sticks on Amazon as well, but a toothpick works just as well. So I'll show you how to do this using a toothpick. So, okay, getting started, I'm first going to apply the wax to my toothpick. So I just pull off a little bit of one of these little earplugs. It's a little bit tacky. And I just stick it to the tip of my toothpick and kind of squish that on so that it's nice and stuck. After that, I'm gonna just dump out some rhinestones onto my paper plate. Depending on how many rhinestones you're doing, you can do more. I like to spread them out a little bit. I make sure I have a good number that are facing up. I'm not gonna go through and flip them all over, but I want a good number that are facing up. Next, I'm gonna take my syringe. So, from the box, the syringe comes like this. You have a little bag of tips that look like this and the syringe. So I'm going to pull this apart. Whoops. So I've pulled that apart and I have the tip. I'm not going to apply the tip yet because if I do, it creates too much pressure when I try to put the glue in. So I'm going to leave it out. The glue is not very viscous, so it's not going to flow through, so you're going to be fine. So now that I have that ready, I'm going to open my glue. This is probably the most tedious part. So you can see that glue is real thick. So take my syringe. I take the tip of the glue and press it right against the syringe so that there's like no space in between. And then I just start squeezing. And you can see that the glue is entering very slowly. Just takes a lot of manpower from your hand to squeeze that in there. It's important that you don't fill it up the whole way. So I'm doing a small project, so I'm only going about halfway. You don't want to go more than 3/4 because if you do, you won't be able to stick the plunger of the syringe back in. So closing up my glue again. And again, you can see it's flowing very slowly, so you don't have to worry about it dripping. So now that I have this, I am going to take the plunger part and reattach it. So I push it back in. It takes a little bit of pressure. So I push it in and I can see now that the glue is moving. Oops, takes a little more pressure. Here we go. All right, now the glue's moved. Now I can apply my tip. If I had done that earlier, this whole process would have been a lot harder. Okay, so my tip's applied. And now when I rhinestone, I just grab the syringe like this and I use my thumb to depress. And you can see as I depress it, I'm pushing pretty hard. There comes a drop of glue. I'm gonna wipe the excess on the corner of my plate. That's why I have the plate here. And when I store the syringe, I lean it against the edge of the plate so that it's facing up so it doesn't really drip down. All right, I have a piece of scrap fabric to just show you how I'm going to rhinestone. The way we do this is we apply the glue directly to the fabric. Now, I would recommend that you have like a piece of cardboard or something underneath this. That way you don't accidentally stick it to your tablecloth, but for this project, it's fine. All right, so the first thing I do is I wipe off any excess glue on the edge of my plate. And then I'm gonna start and I'm just gonna stick a handful of drops. So usually I'll do anywhere from 4 to 6 drops at a time. Any more than that, and it's gonna dry too fast. So I know that the material is dark, but let me just lift this up so you can see what those little glue dots look like. That's what they look like. And now I'm gonna take my fun little wax stick. I'm gonna place it gently on top of a rhinestone, and you can see that it picked it right up. I'm gonna take that rhinestone and press it into the glue. And I'm just gonna go back and forth, take a rhinestone, press it into the glue, take a rhinestone, press it into the glue. And this makes rhinestoning so much easier. Tweezers, yeah, you can use tweezers. I find them pretty hard. You can use your fingers, which I find even harder. But anyway, Now they're applied, and I just gently tap them in. And that's it. That's how you rhinestone. Now this takes 24 hours to dry. And once I've had that on, if I need to do more, again, you can see that there's a little bit of glue that's come out of the syringe here. I just wipe that off on the edge of my plate. Or if it's not coming off, I have a paper towel if I need to wipe it. And I just go back in and I keep applying dots, resting my syringe on the plate, grabbing my little stick, and sticking them on. That is the whole process. One more tip, since I know this will probably come up. What happens when you run out of glue in the syringe? You can reopen this. You just pull it right back apart. I like to I unscrew the tip again to allow more airflow, and then you just refill it. The other question is, okay, what if you're done and you still have this much glue left? You can wrap this whole thing in saran wrap, especially the tip, and use it for emergencies for the next couple of days. But after that, it's going to dry. So what I will usually do is any glue that's left inside the syringe is kind of a lost cause. So I would squeeze out all of the glue, and I would take this tip off, squeeze it all out into the trash. And then you can soak it in water or 100% acetone to kind of clear it out, especially the syringe tip. I like to soak this one in acetone to make sure that it gets all out. And then you can also use like a sewing needle to clear out the tip. And then you just let that dry and you can reuse it. That said, these things are so cheap and they come in packs of like 10. So try to save it. And if you can't, it's not the end of the world. There's still a lot more, but they can be saved. Acetone will dissolve E6000 glue, so you can use that to make sure that the tip of the syringe is clean. All right, hope that helps.